Hello everyone, welcome to PS Art, and today we will be drawing that lovable dinosaur, that green rapscallion, that adventurous little green thing. That's right, he's Yoshi. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. As with most drawings, we're going to start with a circle and another tiny circle. His eyes, I guess you could use big ovals for this. I was able to kind of guesstimate exactly where they go, but you may want to draw full ovals just to get the reference right. His mouth extends from the bottom. He very much has an overbite, sort of Simpson style. And I'm going to extend out that cheek a little bit here at the bottom. And didn't quite like how that mouth was. We're going to extend that out a bit as well. But that's why we use pencil. And his belly. I'm going to adjust his belly a little bit later. And this arm, I don't really mind the arm. The arm is the arm, but this hand's going to take a couple tries. I'm going to tell you that right now. Little spoiler alert. This hand is not going to stay this way. This is my handy dandy little eraser. It acts almost like a pencil where you can extend it like that, and I like it a lot. And you can get a link to that in the description. It helps out the channel if you use that link to purchase it. Kind of wanted to give him my own sort of pose. And yeah, I wanted that belly out a little bit more. Yeah. He's a little bit more than that even. He needs to be chunky. And this tail kind of curves along the bottom there. You'll see a little bit later that it all makes one long sort of curve. And with this shell, it doesn't really peek out a whole lot in this picture. It's not really the focal point. It's just sort of there in the background, but it is an important part to his character. The legs here, you'll see that curve in the bottom. He almost looks like a boo, how he's curved in the bottom there. This leg, it's going to be facing forward, so it's going to be kind of a dynamic sort of foot pose. That circle to kind of make the front part of the shoe, and then we're going to be seeing the bottom part of the shoe. This one I definitely needed a reference to figure out. It's a different kind of pose there. And then the second leg is not quite as pronounced. It's very much in the background, but still important. Get that circle there for the front. If you've got those sort of Mickey Mouse type shoes, you want that circle in the front to help define where that chunky part of the shoe is. And now these two lines are very important for getting that sort of accent where his sort of white colored part of his torso is. This is where I have to do a couple tries with this hand. I like keeping this kind of stuff in because I want to show you guys this doesn't happen overnight. This isn't just a magic trick where you just go boom and there's the picture. You've got to mess things up sometimes in order to get it right, and this is me messing up a hand pretty badly. It's mangled. It is bad. I actually did a couple tries before I got to this. Which I actually used sort of a cartoon character peace sign pose that I used as a reference, and it looked a lot better, I think. And as much as I have done videos in the past, man, it is a little bit of a different beast doing a drawing video, and that autofocus, it kills you sometimes, so I apologize that some of these are a little out of focus. Those eyes are pretty simple. You got circles and you got little circles within them. Copy what you see and you're gonna get it. It's simpler than it looks. There's a little smile. You need to have that little parentheses thing there for the smile. Alright, and now I'm just kind of defining these lines. The ones that are just based off a circle and things like that, I'm going to define which parts of that I am keeping, because I'm almost obviously not going to have that entire nose circle in the final. So just kind of defining some of these lines, making sure I know which ones I'll be keeping for when I go in with the Sharpie pen. And once again, you can find a link at the description to find these. I really like them for lining. This part's super relaxing. I love doing this part. You can kind of see a little better the eyes, how I drew the eyes, since it was a little bit covered up by that autofocus. Darn you, autofocus. You're helpful except for when you're not. I do feel a lot better about this peace sign after I finally figured out how to get that thumb was really messing me up. It's important, these two sections, we're not going to align those with the black. You'll see what I do with those in a bit. So the cheek and the belly accent will not be getting the black Sharpie. The rest of this, get nice smooth lines. Make sure you know which parts you're going to be erasing, because you don't want to accidentally go over that with the Sharpie, or it will be a pain. I guess this would be a good time to mention to please like and subscribe if you have the chance. We are a relatively new channel. We're a spin-off from the Pixel Slayers, but still trying to get new viewers, and any little bit helps us a lot. And now we've got our number 133, and we're going to go in and get these two accent lines that we did not want to get with the black. And once we're sure that all of that is dry, we can go in with our trusty eraser. I like a big chunky one. And there he is. He's all nice and lined up, ready to color. And here we've got our main greens that we'll be using. I'm listing them on the screen, and I'll be listing them also in the description. The light's going to be coming from this side, so we're going to get that shadow on the bottom. That's where we're going to start out here. I am going to mark this real quick, just to be sure that I don't accidentally go over there. And start out with this dark green. Now, this is a very dark green. But don't let that scare you, but also maybe don't overdo it. We're going to use our medium shade, that second marker that I just showed off, and we're going to use that to blend the dark part out, so that you'll see that part near the bottom is darker than the new part that doesn't have any of the dark in it. And that's how we're going to get our colors blending and looking really cool. It will look weird at first. It looks like he drank some hot chocolate or coffee and got it stuck on his mouth, but it will not look like that permanently. Believe me. So we're taking that lightest color, and again, I like working darkest to light. One of the reasons is I can take that light color, put it over the whole thing at the end, and it gets a really nice blend. We've got that really dark, a little bit lighter, all the way to the lightest. We're going to use that same technique here and get these eyes looking nice. Don't wipe the paper like I did, because you'll see where it's smeared in the top. I was lucky that it smeared where I was going to color anyways, but if you do that and it smears outside of your lines, that's no fun. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of logic out which parts of this will be darkest. Based on where I sort of put my imaginary light source that I showed earlier in the sort of pointing from the upper right. There we go. He's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and start on here. And it's also very imperative that when you do this sort of blending, that you do it in sections, because once that color dries completely, once that dark color dries, it will not blend like this. It will just be sort of a solid color, and that is a style that you can go with. But if you want it to be blended like this, you gotta work not super fast, but you want to be sure you do a section at a time, finish that section, and then move on to the next one. Don't go in and do all the dark parts and then go in with the next color. You want to do it section by section. You also want to be careful not to get too many layers of that color on there, or the paper will start to kind of fray a little bit. If you're not using a paper that's made for markers, it can fray even faster, and it'll just soak right through the paper. So I have a link in the description to the paper that I use that I would highly suggest for markers. Don't just use printer paper. It's gonna soak it real fast, and it can actually tear through the paper when you put too many layers on it. Right now we got an N45, which is sort of a dark gray, and it's sort of a medium dark gray. I'm going over the eyes with that. And now we have an 856, which is a red. We're going to go over these sort of bumps that are on the back of his head and the mouth. I've got N89, which is sort of a light gray. It doesn't show up as much as I'd hoped. When you do use a light gray as an accent, you want to do what I just did and get the other color out of it before you use it on its own. If I didn't put it over a paper like I did just there, over a scratch piece of paper, the red could still be showing on that light gray from when I did the mouth. So definitely be cautious when you're using light colors over different colors. Or really any color over another color. I've got 817. This is sort of a darker pink. I'm using this as an accent. It works a lot better than that gray I was trying to use. And this one's going to be for the shoes. Such a nice cartoony orange. I love it. And I'm using the red that I was using on the shell and the mouth. I'm using that as the accent color for the shadows, and then blending it in with that original orange, which I think makes a really nice shade here. Now this one is a yellow for the bottom and a slightly darker yellow for the accent. This, you could either use really dark black or you can even use a Sharpie. And I'm just going in and I'm doing a very heavy outline, and it's very important, this area, you want to distinguish those two areas. Don't think, oh, I don't need to outline this, it's already dark. There's going to be a time for that, you'll see later on. I'm just doing a real thick outline, and it really kind of enunciates the cartooniness of this character. I guess if you were in Photoshop or GIMP or something like that, this would be like the stroke feature, that you're just making a very thick line on the entire outside, but I'm not doing the inside at all, just the very outside. Now I'm going to take a white gel pen. I'm going to make sure this is completely dry, very important. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to draw between that new thick line and our old lines. And you'll see once this is done, it really makes it pop. I've been trying this technique for some of my new drawings. And then I put little accents here and there. Just the part where the light's going to hit it the most, where it seems the lightest. I make a little mistake here, something smudged. So once that got completely dry, I went over it with the green and it kind of relieved that smudge. So if you do get a smudge or something like that, it's not the end of the world. That's the beauty of markers. And there it's fixed. And that is Yoshi from Mario Brothers. I think it turned out pretty well. I really like this new technique with the outline. I mean, I'm sure somebody else has thought of this technique before, but it's new to me and I like using it. Go check out our other videos. I draw my version of the 14th Doctor from Doctor Who and a Hisuian Voltorb. We've got lots more down the pipeline, including I'm going to paint an entire shelf to make it look like a Pokemon Center or a Pokemart. I'm not really sure which yet. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Check out our Ko-fi page where I've got commissions and art for sale, including this very picture. And thank you so much for watching. See you again next time. Bye!